Question 1. What significant event did the Act of Union 1707 accomplish in British history? A. Established the Bank of England. B. Unified England and Scotland into the Kingdom of Great Britain. C. Ended the War of the Spanish Succession. T. Introduced the decimal currency system. Answer. B. Unified England and Scotland into the Kingdom of Great Britain. The Act of Union 1707 was a pivotal moment in British history, marking the official unification of the kingdoms of England and Scotland into a single sovereign state known as the Kingdom of Great Britain. Question 2. Who was the first female to hold the position of Prime Minister in the UK? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. Margaret Thatcher. C. Theresa May. D. Indira Gandhi. Answer. B. Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher made history as the first female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, serving from 1979 to 1990. Question 3. In what year was the Magna Carta originally issued? A. 1066. B. 1215. C. 1415. D. 1605. Answer. B. 1215. The Magna Carta, a foundational document in English constitutional history, was originally issued in the year 1215. Question 4. Which battle in 1066 marked the beginning of Norman conquest of England? A. The Battle of Agincourt. B. The Battle of Hastings. C. The Battle of Waterloo. D. The Battle of Britain. Answer. B. The Battle of Hastings. The Battle of Hastings in 1066 is significant as it marked the start of the Norman conquest of England. Question 5. Describe the main purpose of the Hadrian's War. A. To serve as a trade barrier. B. To mark the boundary of the Roman Empire in Britain. C. To protect the Roman Empire from the Vikings. D. To commemorate Hadrian's rule. Answer. B. To mark the boundary of the Roman Empire in Britain. Hadrian's Wall was primarily built to signify the northern limit of Roman Britain and to protect the empire from the northern tribes. Question 6. What were the primary causes of the English Civil War in the 17th century? A. Economic disputes. B. Religious differences. C. Power struggle between the monarchy and parliament. D. All of the above. Answer. D. All of the above. The English Civil War was caused by a combination of factors, including economic disputes, religious differences, and a significant power struggle between the monarchy and parliament. Question 7. Name the king responsible for establishing the Church of England. A. King Henry VIII. B. King Edward VI. C. King Charles I. D. King George III. Answer. A. King Henry VIII. King Henry VIII established the Church of England in the 16th century, primarily to secure a divorce from Catherine of Aragon. Question 8. Detail the significance of the Glorious Revolution of 1688. A. It restored Catholicism as the state religion. B. It resulted in the establishment of the Bank of England. C. It confirmed the sovereignty of Parliament over the monarchy. D. It led to the union of England and Scotland. Answer. C. It confirmed the sovereignty of Parliament over the monarchy. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 was significant for affirming the supremacy of Parliament in English governance, leading to the constitutional monarchy that exists today. Question 9. What advancements did the Industrial Revolution first bring to the UK? A. Decimal currency system. B. Steam-powered machinery. C. The establishment of the National Health Service. D. The introduction of the Internet. Answer: B. Steam-powered machinery. The Industrial Revolution introduced significant technological advancements, including steam-powered machinery, which revolutionized British industry and society. Question 10. Which treaty ended the American War of Independence for Britain? A. The Treaty of Paris 1783. B. The Treaty of Versailles. C. The Treaty of Utrecht. D. The Treaty of Westminster. Answer: A. The Treaty of Paris 1783. The Treaty of Paris in 1783 officially ended the American War of Independence, recognizing the independence of the United States from Britain. Question 11. What landmark legal document, passed in 1215, limited the King's power in England? A. The Bill of Rights. B. The Magna Carta. C. The Act of Settlement. D. The Charter of Liberties. Answer: B. The Magna Carta. The Magna Carta, issued in 1215, was a landmark legal document that limited the powers of the king and laid the foundation for modern democracy and the rule of law in England. Question 12. When did the Great Fire of London occur, and what was its impact? A. 1066, led to the Norman Conquest. B. 1348, initiated the Black Death. C. 1666, resulted in the rebuilding of much of London. D. 1940, marked the beginning of the Blitz. Answer: C. 1666, resulted in the rebuilding of much of London. The Great Fire of London in 1666 destroyed a large part of the City of London, leading to the reconstruction of the city and the implementation of new building codes. Question 13. What was the main outcome of the Battle of Britain in 1940? A. British victory that prevented a German invasion. B. German occupation of Britain. C. Establishment of the United Nations. D. Signing of the Treaty of Versailles. Answer: A. British victory that prevented a German invasion. The Battle of Britain was a critical victory for Britain during World War II, as it thwarted Germany's plans to invade the UK. Question 14. Who were the Tolpuddle Martyrs, and why are they significant in labour history? A. A group of lords who passed labour reform laws. B. Soldiers who fought for workers' rights. C. Agricultural workers who were arrested for forming a trade union. D. Industrialists who implemented worker-friendly policies. Answer: C. Agricultural workers who were arrested for forming a trade union. The Tolpuddle Martyrs are significant in labour history for their early fight for workers' rights and the formation of trade unions in the 19th century. Question 15. What was the primary purpose behind the formation of the United Nations, and what role did the UK play in it? A. To promote British imperialism. B. To establish a global trade organisation. C. To prevent future global conflicts and promote peace. The UK was a founding member. D. To create a European alliance against the Soviet Union. Answer: C. To prevent future global conflicts and promote peace. The UK was a founding member. The formation of the United Nations aimed at maintaining international peace and security, with the UK playing a significant role as one of its founding members. Question 16. How did the introduction of the Enclosure Acts impact rural England? A. Led to widespread urbanisation. B. Caused a decline in agricultural production. C. transformed the landscape and social structure by consolidating common lands. D. Improved relations between landlords and peasants. Answer C. Transformed the landscape and social structure by consolidating common lands. The Enclosure Acts significantly changed rural England by privatizing common lands, leading to social and economic shifts towards modern agriculture. Question 17. In which year did the UK officially abolish the slave trade? A. 1603. B. 1707. C. 1807. D. 1833. Answer C. 1807. The UK officially abolished the slave trade in 1807 with the passage of the Slave Trade Act, marking a significant step in the global abolition movement. Question 18. What changes did the Reform Act of 1832 bring to British electoral law? A. Introduced women's suffrage. B. Expanded the electorate and addressed electoral malpractice. C. Established the Conservative and Liberal parties. D. Abolished the monarchy's involvement in elections. Answer B. Expanded the electorate and addressed electoral malpractice. The Reform Act of 1832 widened the voting franchise and tackled corruption within the electoral system, laying the groundwork for further democratic reforms. Question 19. Which event marked the start of the British Empire's decolonization process? A. The American Revolution. B. The granting of independence to India and Pakistan in 1947. C. The Suez Crisis of 1956. D. The establishment of the Commonwealth in 1949. Answer B. The granting of independence to India and Pakistan in 1947. The decolonization process of the British Empire began significantly with the independence of India and Pakistan, marking a shift in British imperial policy. Question 20. When was the National Health Service, NHS, established and what was its purpose? A. 1948. To provide health care to all UK residents, free at the point of use. B. 1958. To establish a national insurance system. C. 1965. To privatise healthcare in the UK. D. 1973. To integrate healthcare services within the European Economic Community. Answer A. 1948. To provide healthcare to all UK residents, free at the point of use. The NHS was established to ensure that all UK residents had access to healthcare funded through taxation, marking a cornerstone of the British welfare state. Question 21. What is the significance of the Battle of Agincourt in English history? A. It was a decisive victory in the 100 Years' War, showcasing the effectiveness of the longbow. B. It marked the end of the Viking invasions of England. C. It was the battle where England lost its territories in France. D. It initiated the War of the Roses. Answer A. It was a decisive victory in the 100 Years' War, showcasing the effectiveness of the longbow. The Battle of Agincourt in 1415 is celebrated for the English army's use of the longbow, leading to a significant victory against France. Question 22. Who was responsible for the discovery of penicillin, and why was it significant? A. Charles Darwin. It introduced the theory of evolution. B. Alexander Fleming. It marked the beginning of modern antibiotics. C. Isaac Newton. It revolutionized the field of physics. D. James Watt. It improved steam engine efficiency. Answer B. Alexander Fleming. It marked the beginning of modern antibiotics. Fleming's discovery of penicillin in 1928 revolutionized medicine by introducing the first true antibiotic, significantly impacting the treatment of bacterial infections. Question 23. Detail the impact of the Beveridge Report on post-war Britain. A. It led to the establishment of the National Health Service and the welfare state. B. It prompted Britain's entry into the European Economic Community. C. It resulted in the adoption of the decimal currency system. D. It initiated the privatization of major industries. Answer. A. It led to the establishment of the National Health Service and the welfare state. The Beveridge Report of 1942 outlined a comprehensive social insurance program, leading to the creation of the NHS and the foundation of the modern British welfare state post-World War II. Question 24. In what year did women in the UK gain the right to vote on equal terms with men? A. 1918. B. 1928. C. 1969. D. 1970. Answer. B. 1928. Women in the UK gained the right to vote on equal terms with men in 1928, following years of suffrage activism. Question 25. What was the main reason for the construction of the Elizabeth Tower, commonly known as Big Ben? A. To celebrate the millennium. B. To honour Queen Elizabeth I. C. As part of the design for the new Palace of Westminster after the old one burned down. D. To commemorate Britain's victory in the Napoleonic Wars. Answer. C. As part of the design for the new Palace of Westminster after the old one burned down. The Elizabeth Tower, which houses the bell known as Big Ben, was constructed as part of Charles Barry's design for the new Palace of Westminster following a fire in 1834. Question 26. Who was Emmeline Pankhurst, and what did she achieve? A. A British novelist who wrote about women's rights. B. The founder of the modern nursing profession. C. A leading figure in the British suffragette movement. D. The first female Prime Minister of the UK. Answer. C. A leading figure in the British suffragette movement. Emmeline Pankhurst was instrumental in the fight for women's suffrage in the UK, known for her leadership of the Women's Social and Political Union. Question 27. What was the primary impact of the Black Death on medieval England? A. It led to the English Renaissance. B. It caused significant population decline, economic upheaval, and social change. C. It initiated the Industrial Revolution. D. It resulted in the end of the feudal system. Answer. B. It caused significant population decline, economic upheaval, and social change. The Black Death, which struck England in the mid-14th century, had profound effects on the country's population, economy, and social structure. Question 28. When was the Commonwealth of Nations formally constituted, and what was its original purpose? A. 1949. To maintain economic ties between the UK and its former colonies. B. 1926. To foster mutual cooperation and ensure defence agreements. C. 1931. To give legal status to the dominions as independent entities. D. 1965. To promote human rights and economic development. Answer. C. 1931. To give legal status to the dominions as independent entities. The Statute of Westminster in 1931 formally established the Commonwealth, recognising the autonomy of dominions and laying the groundwork for the modern Commonwealth's cooperative framework. Question 29. Describe the role of the British East India Company in the establishment of British rule in India. A. It served solely as a trading organization with no political ambitions. B. It played a key role, using both diplomacy and military force to expand British influence and control. C. It was a charitable organization focused on improving living conditions in India. D. It was established to promote cultural exchanges between Britain and India. Answer: B. It played a key role, using both diplomacy and military force to expand British influence and control. The British East India Company was instrumental in laying the foundations of the British Empire in India through its roles in trade, politics, and military engagement. Question 30. What are the core principles of the British Constitution, despite it not being a single written document? A. The divine right of kings. B. Parliamentary sovereignty, the rule of law, and the separation of powers. C. Absolute monarchy and theocratic governance. D. Direct democracy and federalism. Answer: B. Parliamentary sovereignty, the rule of law, and the separation of powers. The UK's constitution, while unwritten, is founded on key principles such as the sovereignty of Parliament, the rule of law ensuring equality before the law, and the separation of powers among the branches of government. Question 31. How did the signing of the Treaty of Versailles in 1919 affect the UK? A. It led to the UK gaining significant territories in Europe. B. It imposed severe economic sanctions on the UK. C. It marked the UK's formal entry into the League of Nations. D. It resulted in substantial British war reparations to Germany. Answer: C. It marked the UK's formal entry into the League of Nations. The Treaty of Versailles, which formally ended World War I, included provisions for the establishment of the League of Nations, with the UK as a founding member, aiming to prevent future conflicts. Question 32. What was the purpose of the Statute of Westminster 1931? A. To officially start the process of decolonisation. B. To unify England, Scotland, and Wales under one legal system. C. To grant full legislative independence to the dominions of the British Empire. D. To establish the Commonwealth of Nations. Answer: C. To grant full legislative independence to the dominions of the British Empire. The Statute of Westminster 1931 was a critical step in recognising the autonomy of Britain's dominions, marking a key moment in the transition towards a Commonwealth of independent nations. Question 33. In which year did the UK transition to a decimal currency system? A. 1821. B. 1914. C. 1969. D. 1971. Answer: D. 1971. The UK transitioned to a decimal currency system in 1971, simplifying the currency by dividing the pound into 100 new pence, replacing the old system of pounds, shillings and pence. Question 34. Who was the first British astronaut to go into space and in what year? A. Timothy Peake in 2015. B. Helen Sharman in 1991. C. Michael Foale in 1992. D. Richard Branson in 2021. Answer: B. Helen Sharman in 1991. Helen Sharman became the first British astronaut to travel to space in 1991, visiting the Mir space station as part of Project Juno. Question 35. Detail the economic and social reforms implemented during Margaret Thatcher's tenure as Prime Minister. A. Expansion of the welfare state. B. Nationalization of key industries. C. Privatization of state-owned enterprises, reduction of union power, and deregulation of the economy. D. Introduction of the euro as the UK's currency. Answer. C. Privatization of state-owned enterprises, reduction of union power, and deregulation of the economy. Margaret Thatcher's tenure was marked by significant economic and social reforms, including the privatization of state-owned enterprises, efforts to curb the power of trade unions, and the promotion of a free market economy. Question 36. What was the primary cause of the peasants' revolt in 1381? A. The introduction of the poll tax. B. The abolition of the feudal system. C. The loss of the 100 Years' War. D. The establishment of the Church of England. Answer. A. The introduction of the poll tax. The peasants' revolt in 1381 was primarily triggered by the imposition of a poll tax, which exacerbated existing economic and social tensions. Question 37. How did the Victorian era influence British society and the Empire? A. It marked a period of decline in industrial and scientific progress. B. It was characterized by significant expansion of the British Empire and industrial advancements. C. It saw the dismantling of the British Empire. D. It led to the introduction of democracy in Britain. Answer. B. It was characterized by significant expansion of the British Empire and industrial advancements. The Victorian era is noted for its industrial, cultural, political, scientific, and military changes within the United Kingdom and the expansion of the British Empire. Question 38. What led to the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland in 1922? A. The Act of Union between England and Scotland. B. The independence of the Irish Free State, leaving Northern Ireland as part of the UK. C. The merger of the kingdoms of England and Wales. D. The unification of the British Isles under a single monarch. Answer. B. The independence of the Irish Free State, leaving Northern Ireland as part of the UK. The establishment of the Irish Free State in 1922, following the Anglo-Irish Treaty, led to the partition of Ireland and the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Question 39. When did the Suez Crisis occur, and how did it affect Britain's international standing? A. 1945. It strengthened Britain's position as a world power. B. 1956. It marked a significant decline in Britain's global influence. C. 1962. It led to Britain's entry into the European Economic Community. D. 1973. It resulted in improved relations with Middle Eastern countries. Answer. B. 1956. It marked a significant decline in Britain's global influence. The Suez Crisis of 1956 exposed the limitations of Britain's post-war power and significantly diminished its standing on the world stage. Question 40. What significant legal principle is established by the concept of habeas corpus? A. The right to bear arms. B. The right of a monarch to rule without parliamentary approval. C. The requirement that a person under arrest be brought before a judge or into court. D. The principle of divine right of kings. Answer. C. The requirement that a person under arrest be brought before a judge or into court. The principle of habeas corpus safeguards individual freedom by ensuring that no one can be held in prison unlawfully without being charged and tried. Question 41. Detail the origins and implications of the Good Friday Agreement. A. 1998. It ended the War of the Roses. B. 1985. It initiated the UK's membership in the EU. C. 1998. It significantly contributed to ending the Troubles in Northern Ireland. D. 2005. It established Scotland's independence from the UK. Answer C. 1998. It significantly contributed to ending the Troubles in Northern Ireland. The Good Friday Agreement of 1998 was a major political development that helped to end decades of conflict in Northern Ireland, known as the Troubles. Question 42. What event marked the beginning of the end for British rule in India? A. The Battle of Plassey. B. The Indian Rebellion of 1857. C. The Amritsar Massacre of 1919. D. The Independence of India in 1947. Answer D. The Independence of India in 1947. The granting of independence to India in 1947 marked the beginning of the end for British colonial rule in India, signalling a shift in British imperial policy. Question 43. When and why did the UK join the European Economic Community, which later became known as the European Union? A. 1945, to strengthen post-war European alliances. B. 1957, as a founding member. C. 1973, to enhance economic opportunities and political influence in Europe. D. 1993, following the Maastricht Treaty. Answer C. 1973, to enhance economic opportunities and political influence in Europe. The UK joined the European Economic Community in 1973, seeking to improve economic prospects and play a larger role in European politics. Question 44. Who was responsible for the signing of the Balfour Declaration, and what did it signify? A. Winston Churchill. It marked the beginning of the British welfare state. B. Arthur Balfour. It expressed support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. C. Queen Elizabeth II. It initiated the decolonization of Africa. D. Margaret Thatcher. It signaled the end of the Cold War. Answer B. Arthur Balfour. It expressed support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. The Balfour Declaration of 1917, issued by British Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour, indicated British support for the creation of a Jewish homeland in Palestine, influencing the course of Middle Eastern history. Question 45. What is the historical significance of the Battle of Waterloo for Britain? A. It marked the beginning of the British Empire. B. It resulted in Napoleon Bonaparte's final defeat, ending the Napoleonic Wars. C. It led to the loss of the American colonies. D. It initiated the War of the Roses. Answer B. It resulted in Napoleon Bonaparte's final defeat, ending the Napoleonic Wars. The Battle of Waterloo in 1815 was a decisive conflict that ended Napoleon's rule in France and his ambitions in Europe, solidifying Britain's role as a dominant power. Question 46. How did the agricultural revolution contribute to the onset of the Industrial Revolution in Britain? A. By decreasing food production and increasing reliance on imports. B. By mechanizing agriculture, increasing food production, and freeing workers for industrial jobs. C. By focusing the economy solely on agriculture. D. By leading to widespread famine and reducing the population. Answer B. By mechanizing agriculture, increasing food production, and freeing workers for industrial jobs. The agricultural revolution led to significant increases in food production and efficiency, which supported population growth and provided labor for the burgeoning industrial sector, laying the groundwork for the Industrial Revolution. Question 47. Detail the significance of the Act of Settlement 1701 in shaping the succession to the British throne. A. It established the House of Commons as the sole legislative body. B. It determined that only Protestants could inherit the British throne. C. It ended the monarchy's role in governing the country. D. It declared English as the official language of the UK. Answer. B. It determined that only Protestants could inherit the British throne. The Act of Settlement 1701 was crucial in ensuring a Protestant succession, thereby stabilizing and securing the future of the British monarchy by stipulating religious conditions for succession. Question 48. What was the impact of the Corn Laws on British society and politics? A. They encouraged free trade and lowered food prices. B. They led to economic prosperity and equality. C. They caused widespread protest due to high food prices, leading to their repeal. D. They had no significant impact. Answer. C. They caused widespread protest due to high food prices, leading to their repeal. The Corn Laws, which imposed tariffs on imported grain, led to high food prices and widespread discontent among the British populace, contributing to political unrest and the law's eventual repeal in the mid-19th century. Question 49. Describe the role of Britain in the abolition of the transatlantic slave trade. A. Britain played a minor role and continued the trade until the late 19th century. B. As a leading proponent, Britain passed the Slave Trade Act of 1807, making a significant contribution to ending the trade. C. Britain opposed the abolition movement throughout its history. D. The abolition of the slave trade was primarily due to economic factors, with Britain having little involvement. Answer. B. As a leading proponent, Britain passed the Slave Trade Act of 1807, making a significant contribution to ending the trade. Britain was at the forefront of the abolition movement, with the 1807 Act marking a pivotal moment in the campaign against the transatlantic slave trade. Question 50. How did World War II impact the British Empire and its colonial holdings? A. It led to the expansion of the British Empire. B. It had no significant impact. C. It weakened Britain's economic and military power, accelerating decolonization. D. It resulted in the immediate independence of all colonies. Answer. C. It weakened Britain's economic and military power, accelerating decolonization. The aftermath of World War II saw Britain weakened economically and militarily, contributing to the acceleration of the decolonization process as colonies sought independence. Question 51. Detail the consequences of the Battle of Britain for the UK during World War II. A. It led to Britain's immediate surrender to Germany. B. It significantly boosted British morale and prevented a German invasion. C. It resulted in Britain joining the Axis powers. D. It had minimal impact on the course of the war. Answer. B. It significantly boosted British morale and prevented a German invasion. The Battle of Britain was a crucial victory for the UK, as it marked the first major defeat of Hitler's military forces and played a vital role in preventing a German invasion of Britain. Question 52. What legislative act is considered to have laid the groundwork for the welfare state in Britain? A. The National Insurance Act 1911. B. The Beveridge Report 1942. C. The National Health Service Act 1946. D. The Factory Act 1833. Answer B. The Beveridge Report 1942. The Beveridge Report proposed widespread reforms to address social welfare issues, laying the groundwork for the establishment of the welfare state in Britain, including the creation of the National Health Service. Question 53. How did the British government respond to the Great Depression of the 1930s? A. By joining the European Economic Community. B. With austerity measures that deepened the economic crisis. C. Through policies of economic stimulus and social reform. D. By withdrawing from all international trade agreements. Answer C. Through policies of economic stimulus and social reform. The British government responded to the Great Depression with a mix of policies aimed at stimulating the economy and implementing social reforms to mitigate the effects of the economic downturn. Question 54. Describe the significance of the Chartist movement in the 19th century. A. It was a movement that successfully abolished the monarchy. B. It focused exclusively on reforming the education system. C. It was a working-class movement advocating for electoral reforms and universal male suffrage. D. It aimed to end Britain's involvement in the slave trade. Answer C. It was a working-class movement advocating for electoral reforms and universal male suffrage. The Chartist movement was significant for its role in campaigning for democratic reforms in Britain, including demands for universal male suffrage and equal electoral districts. Question 55. What was the main outcome of the Falklands War for the UK? A. It led to the loss of the Falkland Islands to Argentina. B. It resulted in a temporary ceasefire without resolving the sovereignty dispute. C. It confirmed British sovereignty over the Falkland Islands after a military conflict with Argentina. D. It initiated the UK's withdrawal from all overseas territories. Answer C. It confirmed British sovereignty over the Falkland Islands after a military conflict with Argentina. The Falklands War in 1982 resulted in a British victory, reaffirming the UK's sovereignty over the Falkland Islands and bolstering national pride. Question 56. How did the swinging 60s influence British culture and society? A. By promoting conservative values and traditions. B. Through a cultural revolution that emphasized modernity, youth and freedom. C. By isolating Britain from global cultural trends. D. It had no significant impact on British culture and society. Answer B. Through a cultural revolution that emphasized modernity, youth and freedom. The swinging 60s was a period of significant cultural change in Britain, marked by greater social freedoms, the emergence of new music and fashion, and a challenge to traditional norms. Question 57. What role did Britain play in the establishment of the State of Israel? A. Britain opposed the creation of Israel throughout its mandate in Palestine. B. It facilitated the process by issuing the Balfour Declaration and later managing the Palestine Mandate. C. Britain played no significant role in the establishment of Israel. D. It provided military support of Arab states opposing Israel's establishment. Answer B. It facilitated the process by issuing the Balfour Declaration and later managing the Palestine Mandate. Britain played a pivotal role in the early stages of establishing the State of Israel, notably through the Balfour Declaration of 1917, which expressed support for a Jewish homeland in Palestine and its administration of the area under the League of Nations mandate. Question 58. detailed the significance of the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council in the Commonwealth. A. It serves as the primary legislative body for Commonwealth countries. B. It acts as the final court of appeal for many Commonwealth countries. C. It is responsible for electing the Commonwealth Secretary-General. D. It organizes the Commonwealth Games. Answer. B. It acts as the final court of appeal for many Commonwealth countries. The Judicial Committee of the Privy Council plays a crucial role within the Commonwealth by serving as the highest court of appeal for several member countries, ensuring legal consistency and adherence to common law principles. Question 59. What led to the UK's decision to leave the European Union in 2016? A. A parliamentary vote to repeal the European Communities Act 1972. B. A referendum where a majority of British voters chose to leave. C. Automatic termination of the UK's EU membership due to economic reasons. D. A decision by the EU to expel the UK. Answer. B. A referendum where a majority of British voters chose to leave. The decision to leave the European Union, known as Brexit, was made following a 2016 referendum in which 52% of voters opted to exit the EU, reflecting widespread debates over sovereignty, immigration, and economic policy. Question 60. How has the concept of British identity evolved in the post-imperial era? A. It has become increasingly exclusive and centered on historical achievements. B. It has remained unchanged, focusing on the monarchy and military history. C. It has broadened to include diverse cultures and global influences. D. It has been legally redefined to exclude non-English constituents of the UK. Answer. C. It has broadened to include diverse cultures and global influences. In the post-imperial era, British identity has evolved to reflect the UK's multicultural society, embracing a wider range of influences and acknowledging the contributions of various ethnic and cultural groups to British society. Question 61. Describe the impact of digital technology on British society and the economy. A. It led to the decline of traditional industries and increased unemployment. B. It has transformed communication, commerce, and access to information, fostering growth and innovation. C. It resulted in widespread technological isolation. D. Digital technology has had no significant impact on the UK. Answer. B. It has transformed communication, commerce, and access to information, fostering growth and innovation. The advent of digital technology has had a profound impact on British society and the economy, driving changes in how people work, communicate, and access services and entertainment. Question 62. What were the causes and consequences of the Gunpowder Plot of 1605? A. To restore Catholicism in England, led to stricter laws against Catholics. B. A protest against the Industrial Revolution, resulted in labour reforms. C. To achieve independence for Scotland, increased military presence in Scotland. D. A plot to increase parliamentary power, resulted in the establishment of the Commonwealth. Answer. A. To restore Catholicism in England, led to stricter laws against Catholics. The Gunpowder Plot was a failed attempt by Catholic conspirators to assassinate King James I and restore a Catholic monarch to the throne, leading to harsher penalties against Catholics in its aftermath. Question 63. How did the UK's participation in World War I affect its global empire? A. It expanded the British Empire to its greatest territorial extent. B. It weakened Britain's economic and military power, prompting a revaluation of its imperial commitments. C. It had no significant impact on the British Empire. D. It led to immediate decolonization movements within the empire. Answer B. It weakened Britain's economic and military power, prompting a revaluation of its imperial commitments. World War I significantly strained Britain's resources and led to growing calls for self-determination within its colonies, affecting the future direction of the British Empire. Question 64. Detail the reforms introduced by the Education Act of 1944. A. It abolished public education in the UK. B. It established the modern state education system, raising the school-leaving age and introducing the tripartite system. C. It privatized all educational institutions. D. It mandated religious education in all schools. Answer B. It established the modern state education system, raising the school-leaving age and introducing the tripartite system. The Education Act of 1944, also known as the Butler Act, made secondary education compulsory for all children in the UK and established the framework for the post-war educational system. Question 65. What role did Britain play in the drafting of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? A. Britain opposed the declaration, citing sovereignty concerns. B. It played a leading role, with British representatives contributing significantly to the drafting process. C. It was minimally involved, with no significant contributions. D. Britain drafted the entire declaration independently. Answer B. It played a leading role, with British representatives contributing significantly to the drafting process. The UK was instrumental in the creation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948, reflecting its commitment to human rights post-World War II. Question 66. How did the invention of the steam engine impact British industry and society? A. It had a minimal impact, with traditional methods remaining dominant. B. It revolutionized transportation and manufacturing, contributing to the Industrial Revolution. C. It led to a decrease in urbanization. D. It was quickly made obsolete by electric power. Answer B. It revolutionized transportation and manufacturing, contributing to the Industrial Revolution. The development of the steam engine was a pivotal moment in British history, driving industrial growth, urbanization, and changes in social and economic structures. Question 67. What was the primary focus of the suffragette movement in the early 20th century? A. To promote peace and avoid World War I. B. To achieve equal employment rights for women. C. To secure the right to vote for women. D. To establish women's educational institutions. Answer C. To secure the right to vote for women. The suffragette movement was primarily focused on women's suffrage, advocating for women's right to vote through protests, demonstrations, and other forms of activism. Question 68. Describe the significance of the British Nationality Act 1948. A. It established the Commonwealth of Nations. B. It restricted immigration to the UK from former colonies. C. It created the category of citizen of the United Kingdom and colonies, allowing free movement within the Commonwealth. D. It was the first legislation to recognise English as the official language of the UK. Answer C. It created the category of citizen of the United Kingdom and colonies, allowing free movement within the Commonwealth. The British Nationality Act 1948 was significant for redefining British citizenship, facilitating migration from the Commonwealth to the UK in the post-war period. Question 69. How did the introduction of the Enclosure Acts transform the British agricultural landscape? A. It led to the widespread adoption of organic farming practices. B. By consolidating common lands into private ownership, it changed farming practices and rural society. C. It resulted in the abandonment of agriculture in favour of industrial development. D. The Acts had no significant impact on agriculture or rural society. Answer. B. By consolidating common lands into private ownership, it changed farming practices and rural society. The Enclosure Acts fundamentally altered the agricultural landscape in Britain by privatising common lands, leading to more efficient farming methods, but also social displacement and urban migration. Question 70. What was the role of the Magna Carta in the development of British democracy? A. It established the monarchy as the sole legislative authority. B. It was the first step towards establishing a federal system in the UK. C. It laid foundational principles for legal and political rights, influencing the development of constitutional monarchy. D. It declared English independence from French rule. Answer. C. It laid foundational principles for legal and political rights, influencing the development of constitutional monarchy. The Magna Carta, issued in 1215, is considered a cornerstone of British democracy, establishing key legal principles such as the rule of law and limits on royal authority. Question 71. Detail the impact of the Highland clearances on Scottish society and culture. A. They led to a resurgence of the Gaelic language. B. They resulted in significant emigration, altering the landscape and demographics of Scotland. C. They promoted economic prosperity throughout the Highlands. D. The clearances had little to no impact on Scottish society and culture. Answer. B. They resulted in significant emigration, altering the landscape and demographics of Scotland. The Highland clearances, which took place during the 18th and 19th centuries, involved mass evictions and led to widespread emigration, profoundly affecting Scottish society and culture. Question 72. How did the British handle the transition of Hong Kong back to China in 1997? A. By unilaterally declaring Hong Kong's independence from both Britain and China. B. Through a military intervention to retain control. C. By negotiating the Sino-British Joint Declaration, which outlined the terms of the handover. D. By granting Hong Kong full British citizenship to all residents. Answer. C. By negotiating the Sino-British Joint Declaration, which outlined the terms of the handover. The transition of Hong Kong's sovereignty from the UK to China in 1997 was managed through the Sino-British Joint Declaration, ensuring a principle of one country, two systems. Question 73. What were the main features of the Elizabethan Poor Law of 1601? A. It introduced universal health care. B. It made provisions for the poor, setting the foundation for the welfare state. C. It abolished all forms of public assistance. D. It mandated compulsory education for the poor. Answer. B. It made provisions for the poor, setting the foundation for the welfare state. The Elizabethan Poor Law of 1601 established a system of poor relief, which included support for the needy, marking an early form of what will evolve into the welfare state. Question 74. How has the role of the monarchy in the UK changed over the centuries? A. It has remained absolute and unchanged. B. It has gradually become more symbolic, with reduced political power. C. The monarchy has increasingly taken on legislative responsibilities. D. The monarchy was abolished in the 20th century. Answer. B. It has gradually become more symbolic, with reduced political power. Over the centuries, the role of the British monarchy has evolved from one of direct governance to a more ceremonial and symbolic status, with real political power residing in Parliament. Question 75. Describe the influence of British literature and authors on the world. A. British literature has had minimal impact outside the UK. B. It has been primarily focused on promoting the English language. C. British authors like Shakespeare, Austen, and Dickens have had a profound impact on global literature and culture. D. It has remained insular, with little translation into other languages. Answer. C. British authors like Shakespeare, Austen, and Dickens have had a profound impact on global literature and culture. The contributions of British authors to world literature are immense, influencing countless readers and writers internationally across centuries. Question 76. What are the historical roots of the Commonwealth Games and how have they evolved? A. Originating in 1930 as a celebration of the British Empire, they have evolved into a multi-sport event fostering camaraderie among Commonwealth nations. B. They began in 1954 as part of the decolonisation process. C. The Games were established in 1900 to compete with the Olympic Games. D. They started in the 19th century as military exercises between Commonwealth countries. Answer. A. Originating in 1930 as a celebration of the British Empire, they have evolved into a multi-sport event fostering camaraderie among Commonwealth nations. The Commonwealth Games began as the British Empire Games and have grown into a major international sporting event, emphasizing friendship and sportsmanship among the Commonwealth nations. Question 77. How did the Troubles in Northern Ireland begin, and what was their impact on British society? A. They began as a dispute over the independence of Northern Ireland, leading to widespread reforms in UK governance. B. Initiated in the late 1960s due to civil rights issues and nationalist unionist tensions, they profoundly affected UK politics and security policies. C. The Troubles were a series of economic protests in the 1970s with no significant long-term impact. D. They started in the 1980s as a cultural movement with minimal political consequences. Answer. B. Initiated in the late 1960s due to civil rights issues and nationalist unionist tensions, they profoundly affected UK politics and security policies. The Troubles in Northern Ireland marked a period of conflict that had significant implications for security, politics, and society in both Northern Ireland and the wider UK. Question 78. What led to the decriminalisation of homosexuality in the UK, and in what year did this occur? A. The Human Rights Act of 1998. B. The Wolfenden Report's recommendations, leading to the Sexual Offences Act 1967. C. The Equality Act of 2010. D. The Marriage, Same-Sex Couples, Act 2013. Answer. B. The Wolfenden Report's recommendations, leading to the Sexual Offences Act 1967. The decriminalisation of homosexuality in England and Wales was significantly influenced by the Wolfenden Report, culminating in the Sexual Offences Act of 1967, which marked a pivotal change in legal and social attitudes. Question 79. Detail the origins and impact of the British punk rock movement in the 1970s. A. It originated as a government initiative to boost the music industry. B. The movement emerged as a form of youth rebellion, influencing music, fashion, and culture worldwide. C. It had minimal impact and was confined to London. D. Punk rock was primarily a literary movement with little influence on music. Answer B. The movement emerged as a form of youth rebellion, influencing music, fashion, and culture worldwide. The British punk rock movement of the 1970s represented a significant cultural shift, challenging societal norms and leaving a lasting impact on the music industry and beyond. Question 80. How did the Beveridge Report influence post-war social policy in the UK? A. It advocated for the continuation of wartime rationing. B. Its recommendations led to the creation of the welfare state, including the National Health Service. C. The report called for the privatization of social services. D. It recommended disengaging from international alliances. Answer B. Its recommendations led to the creation of the welfare state, including the National Health Service. The Beveridge Report of 1942 was instrumental in shaping the direction of post-war social policy in the UK, laying the groundwork for the establishment of the welfare state and the National Health Service, NHS. Question 81. What architectural innovation is Sir Christopher Wren best known for in the aftermath of the Great Fire of London? A. Designing the Shard. B. Rebuilding of St. Paul's Cathedral. C. Constructing the London Eye. D. Creation of the Millennium Bridge. Answer B. Rebuilding of St. Paul's Cathedral. Sir Christopher Wren is most renowned for his work in rebuilding St. Paul's Cathedral after the Great Fire of London, showcasing his significant contribution to London's architectural heritage. Question 82. How did the Beveridge Report of 1942 lay the groundwork for the modern British welfare state? A. By recommending the abolition of all social welfare programs. B. By proposing comprehensive social insurance and public health measures. C. By focusing on military spending over social services. D. By advocating for the privatization of healthcare and education. Answer B. By proposing comprehensive social insurance and public health measures. The Beveridge Report outlined a vision for a comprehensive system of social insurance and public health, aiming to address the 5 giant evils of want, disease, ignorance, squalor, and idleness, which led to the establishment of the welfare state. Question 83. Describe the influence and outcomes of the UK's decolonisation process post-World War II on its international relations and former colonies. A. It led to immediate economic and political stability in former colonies. B. It resulted in strained relations with most former colonies. C. It facilitated a transition towards independence and reshaped international relations through the Commonwealth. D. The UK maintained colonial control over all its territories. Answer C. It facilitated a transition towards independence and reshaped international relations through the Commonwealth. The decolonisation process marked a significant shift in international relations, with the UK transitioning from a colonial power to a member of a community of nations within the Commonwealth, fostering new diplomatic and economic ties. Question 84. What are the historical origins of the Commonwealth Games and what is their purpose? A. Started in 1896 to rival the Olympic Games. B. Established in 1930 to foster goodwill and mutual respect among Commonwealth nations. C. Created in 1958 to celebrate British colonial history. D. Originated in 1970 as a diplomatic tool during the Cold War. Answer B. Established in 1930 to foster goodwill and mutual respect among Commonwealth nations. The Commonwealth Games, initially called the British Empire Games, were conceived to strengthen bonds among the countries of the Commonwealth, promoting friendly competition and cultural exchange. Question 85. Detail the significance of the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council in the UK legal system. A. It serves as the final court of appeal for UK citizens. B. It is the primary legislative body of the UK. C. It acts as the highest court of appeal for many Commonwealth countries. D. It oversees the election process within the UK. Answer C. It acts as the highest court of appeal for many Commonwealth countries. The Judicial Committee of the Privy Council retains an important role in the UK legal system, particularly for Commonwealth countries, serving as the ultimate appellate court in various legal matters.